Welcome to the Tuesday podcast, and there was no podcast yesterday because lazy.
We were out yesterday. We were not in for Memorial Day, but hopefully everybody had a wonderful weekend.
Not that
extra long weekend.
Not that there's anything wrong with having a little break.
No one said that. No one was even thinking that.
If somebody was thinking it, I just want to say, we wouldn't begrudge you a day off if you got one.
True. We hope that you treat us the same way back.
I hope that's true, but I can't be sure. So let's talk about the stuff that's going to show up in today's podcast. It's pretty full. So if you've been missing us, now you're going to know why you shouldn't. Let's see. We talk about Starbucks and how they're closed today. Remember the Star Citizen and the $27,000?
That was probably the most offensive thing to have to hear about. Later we include the cockroach stuff. I think both of those together are showing a problem with our society.
You know what, though? You're forgetting, two important parts of the podcast.
Oh, and the shaving the legs.
There it is.
Oh, my God.
That's the worst one.
Okay,
that is the single worst offender in this entire podcast.
In this podcast, you'll get a lady shaving her legs, and you're like, what's the problem? There's that one.
You'll
then
find out.
I think you have the Star Citizen.
That comes first, but I agree it's not as offensive.
And then you also have, we'll talk later in this podcast about cockroaches and the new It's Superfood. Oh, yeah. That is also offensive, too.
And just a heads up, so much talk in today's podcast about Snoop Dogg.
But I think you were bringing it up in an ironic way afterwards. I think you were.
Could be. Could be. Ironic Snoop Dogg is still Snoop Dogg,
It's still Snoop Dogg news. You're right. You still gave him promotion.
So you guys enjoy today's podcast.
Have a wonderful day. And don't forget to connect with us, RadioU Riot on Facebook and YouTube. If you missed last week's Ticket to Ride, our first ever game night that we hosted on our Facebook page, that's been posted on Facebook and YouTube if you subscribe and follow us at both places.
Enjoy the podcast. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
I hope you weren't planning on Starbucks today. Though, okay, they're closing Starbucks today, but I thought it was just this afternoon. But this is saying that they're closed all day.
And it's not all Starbucks. Like if you go to one inside a place, I think those are still staying open. So like Target and stuff, those are remaining open, but it's freestanding stores.
So if you were planning on skipping in for your morning latte, you're going to have to find somewhere else to go. You might have to go to Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's. My gosh.
What if you switch? But today has been the long talked about day of diversity training. So they are closing 8,000 company-owned stores. So that's the difference.
So 175,000 Starbucks corporate employees will receive anti-bias training. And so it will cover all sorts of bias, including racial bias, gender bias. Those are the only two things listed.
That you can come up with, but there might be others.
I'm sure there are more that will end up being covered. But they're bringing in an outside firm to do that, and they're called, what's their name? I've lost the name of the company that is coming in to do it, but they also do training. The Perception Institute. There they are. They're a group of researchers that will work with Starbucks. They've also done training for a bunch of other companies and stuff. And so they say that a lot of people have attitudes that come from implicit bias, positive or negative. And they have a few different examples they give of that. But Walmart and Target have actually done some racial bias training, and Target is saying that it already has plans to expand that training.
So that's today in Target. They said they expect to lose $12 million in one day.
$12 million
So in case you always wondered, I wonder what do the freestanding stores rake in for Starbucks? That's the amount.
Yeah, it's a big deal, but the reality of it is that Starbucks, their brand has been so intensely tarnished over the last couple of months because one of the things that they're so well known for is, like, I don't even know how to say it, but I wouldn't say that they're known for anti-bias, but they're known as being one of those places that gives health care to employees. It has this kind of open attitude. They just have a better reputation than this, so this has been bad for them.
But
Very
they
bad.
haven't lost money yet.
Not yet.
That's the difference. They say that it's changed people's perception of them, but not enough to stop you from going. So they said that the protests and stuff hasn't even hurt their bottom line yet. Now, $12 million later for today, that obviously is an impact. But they say it's not changed people's minds because you're still going to get coffee.
Well, that's because caffeine is addictive, Nikki.
And no one is making a change on that.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but the average American, myself included, often is willing to talk a big game, but when it comes to behavior changes...
That's it. You're not willing to actually stop going. You might go less, but not totally take it off.
I mean, I'm going to drink this coffee, but I don't have to like you.
Sure, the Riot could start eating healthy, or they could continue living happy, enjoyable lives. The Riot on Radio U.
You know, speaking of star stuff, Nikki, let's talk about Star Citizen.
Yeah, Star Citizen?
You don't know what it is.
It's a game.
Nobody does.
Let me just type on the keyboard here for a second, but not to look up what Star Citizen is.
Just to sound like
I just was messaging someone back.
Interested
Star
in it.
Citizen.
Star Citizen is this fascinating thing.
It's a multiplayer game.
Well, it is. It is a crowdfunded game that its initial crowdfunding was like, I don't know, $4 or $5 million. And they finally were like, well, we can't be on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever they were doing anymore because we're making too much money. They've raised somewhere north of $30 million for this game. Like, it's all this crazy stuff. The game isn't out. So it's not in an official release. So if you were like, I will play this Star Citizen game, you can't. You have to go and buy an early access pack. But it is the king of spend real world money in this game.
Sure.
That isn't finished. That's still going on. I don't know. But here's the latest. And I basically want to talk about this so it makes me feel better about the things I do with my money.
Am I seeing these numbers right of what they're going to charge you for things?
Maybe.
Is that what this is?
Maybe.
Because this isn't right.
What have you got?
I want to close this out, if that's it.
What do you got?
So, yeah, the real world money of, what's the $1,000 thing?
Oh, yeah.
If you want to purchase a page of ships, is that it?
Yeah.
It's $1,000.
$1,000.
Of real world money?
Not space bucks.
Not space bucks, but our money?
Not star denarii.
No, not Bitcoin. What?
1,000 US dollars.
For what?
For your...
I'm mad.
Well, here's the thing. You don't
made so much money. Why are they charging this?
But the thing is, are you ready to get really mad?
Well, yes.
Because, $1,000 is going to seem downright reasonable.
What's the $27,000?
Well, that's what I was going to get you to. They just announced the Legatus pack. It has 117 ships plus 163, you ready? Extras.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what the extras are.
But they're there.
But it is a $27,000 purchase.
Oh, I'm sick. Sick to my stomach. Do you feel shivers, a little nauseous? What if you accidentally...
little needles.
Clicked on that one? Or some little family member was like, here, let me use your phone. I just bought $27,000 worth of the space pack.
It's fine.
So Star Citizen made... almost $200 million from its crowdfunding when it started on Kickstarter in 2012.
How much money do you have?
Over $200 million.
Is that right?
Yeah, not almost $200 million.
Okay, wait.
Almost
$2 million or $200 million?
$200 million since it's launched on Kickstarter in 2012, and it's
that's since in the last 6 years. Think about that. It's been in development for 6 years.
And last year, it made $35 million just last year in development.
What are you guys doing?
But, if they're counting one person buying the $27,000 pack, it adds up. So that's amazing. I don't like that.
Real talk, Nikki, you and I should do something like this where people give us a ton of money to not release stuff. Because you know what? In the last 6 years, I also have not released a game, but I don't have $200 million.
I'd be afraid of this game. So Star Citizen, if you want a virtual plot of land, it's $100.
No.
Real money.
No.
Real money.
Let me tell you how I play games. I pay $60, $47 after I get my 20% off for as long as it lasts.
For your little gamer club.
I play it for a little while, and then I trade it in.
Me, I do
Sometimes I go to the red box.
I do the freemium, and every so often, if I'm hitting a wall, I'll buy a couple of gems for 99 cents, and that's about it.
Not
this much money.
I'm not paying $100 for a plot of land.
I wouldn't even pay that in real life. I don't even know how to do that.
No.
All right. Well, I don't want to hear about Star Citizen ever again.
$27,000 for the Legato pack, Nikki. What if you went in with a couple of friends?
Oh, no. No, I feel like that's a bad investment.
Okay.
And you're talking if you want to start building a real ship.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Well, you know what, Nikki? You're really concerned about money, but remember, money is just a construct.
Yeah, it's my bad.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Okay, Nikki.
Yes.
Let's talk about your pills.
Yes.
What are you taking today?
Currently?
Yeah, come on.
I took a little green tablet. Not a pill, though, but it dissolves in water, and that gives me all my vegetable stuff that I need, my greens.
All your veggies for the day?
Yeah, so that's about it.
So no vitamin C?
No vitamins.
Vitamin D?
No, not really.
B12 supplement?
No. You can go down the hole, though, I know.
Multivitamin?
You can have a lot. No multivitamin.
One a day?
No, one a day. Nope.
With extra wheatgrass?
Nope. For women?
For women, for joint health.
No, I feel like the one a days can get specific. Like one a days for women in radio who get up early.
Men's. I love with men's. It's never fertility boosting. What is it? It's vitality or something like that. Where it's just like, oh, what am I going to feel bad? What am I supposed to take this and feel better? What's the deal?
Only once a day.
Just once a day you feel good. Does it last for a couple hours? How does it work? So here's the deal. The Journal of the American College of Cardiology has done a systematic review of existing data and randomized control trials. And those trials were published between January 2012 and October 2017. And here's what they found. Multivitamins, vitamin D, calcium, vitamin C. They say taking a look at those, they can find no significant positive impact on health.
From taking the vitamin forms of that?
Mm-hmm.
So basically you just have to eat it?
Yeah. Basically,
you have to get it that
whatever
way.
you get in food. And he was saying that, taking a vitamin is not going to hurt you, but we can't find any evidence that it's helping you.
Sure.
So any quote-unquote help that you're getting from a vitamin is anecdotal at best.
We've all heard that, really, especially the more money you shell out on that stuff is the more expensive your number one shall be. Because that's all that's happening.
It's all going down the turlet, yes, as they say.
So for some, though, if that's something you like to do.
They say the only thing that they found that did anything was folic acid. They said folic acid alone and B vitamins with folic acid may reduce cardiovascular disease and stroke.
Those kind of helped in pill form?
Mm-hmm. But they said that niacin and antioxidants showed a small effect that might make risk of death worse.
Okay.
Quote, from any cause.
Well, that is a shame to hear.
So if, those antioxidant pills, I don't know what they are, but you might want to double check on those. Not so sure about that.
All right, well, just a little heads up.
Well, and now again, this is according to this research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. This was all done as a joint research between St. Michael's Hospital and the University of Toronto. And today, if you're a vitamin person, you can go check your blogs for the rebuttals.
Because I'm sure every article we get with this, there's 15 others that say, no, it's great for you. And got to find the balance in between.
Holistic doctors everywhere. We're like, we're not holistic, we're integrated. And I'll tell you right now, vitamins matter.
You're listening to the worst of the riot.
Today sucks.
Radio U.
Hey, if you could do me a favor and just go ahead and grab a bucket, because you're going to need it.
Are you going to be getting out some vitamins? Is that the new phrase?
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm refunding the vitamins.
Yeah, returning it.
It's not that. It's so much worse.
It's so weird. It is really, really weird. And I feel bad because this lady must be horrified now.
No.
She must. She didn't think people. Oh, this was all over Reddit. Like this video is everywhere.
I know. I saw it too, but
She must have shame with this.
Don't you think?
No, I think I would be mortified.
I don't think she's ashamed.
She must be.
I don't think so. I don't think that you go to the pool and do this and have shame. I think that somewhere inside there's a shame wire that's not hooked up to the power source.
If you went to the pool and did this, you'd have just a small amount of shame if someone saw you at the pool. But I don't think she would realize that this would go worldwide with people seeing this video.
What, do you? But she's not hiding what she's doing.
I know, because she doesn't think anybody, like they say, if you just go about whatever and people won't even notice. I mean, people have noticed this, though.
This is not a clipboard and a confident wave, okay? That's not what this is. That is not what this is.
So this is this weird video of a lady. She's at the pool in Florida, and she's at the edge of the water, and there's a bunch of kids around, and she is sitting on the ledge, and she's shaving her legs in the pool. It is so weird.
She is straight up shaving her legs. So that means that all her little hairs...
And you know what she's doing, too? She's doing the little dip it in the water to get the
cleaning the razor in the water.
It's so weird. It is so weird. So the camera person's just recording it and like, why are you doing this? So yes, it's been everywhere this weekend.
Oh, gosh.
It's so disgusting. You do not shave your legs in the pool. What's worse is if you see the comment section on any of these.
Wow.
And then
don't read
people
the
who have
comments.
worked at pools and said of what else people have done there, it's way worse.
Here's a quote. I used to work at a public pool, and for whatever reason, they attract the worst of humanity. I would never.
That's why there's so many chemicals in the pool.
I would never swim in a public pool after my experience. Oof. But okay.
But I want to swim in a pool.
Okay, Nikki, this is
But
getting
I want to.
all right. This is getting a little personal. But when you shave your legs, you like bathtub?
No, shower.
Shower?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't
Not
shave
the-
my legs, so I don't know.
Not the pool.
Okay. But there is something inside you. Like your
I
mom,
would not do it outside in public.
Your mom never said to you, now, Nikki, sometimes when the shower's not available, go to the pool.
No, I wouldn't even think that'd be comfortable.
But she never said to you, Nikki, never shave your legs at the pool.
No.
No
one's ever said no. You're right.
No one ever had to tell you that. You just knew.
No one ever had to tell me. And we've all done the dry shave, which is painful.
Sure.
But even that,
I've dry shaved my face. It's
you're
terrible.
not in the pool with other people. This is not your pool either. This is like a hotel.
Man,
it's just weird to watch. It's very weird.
You can't. Whatever standard of hygiene that you have in your own life, you got to, one, know that other people don't share it. They just don't. And two, you begin asking questions. What am I doing that's really gross, I wonder?
That could become a worldwide
I wonder what it
viral
is.
video.
I would just love to interview this woman. Like, all right, so is this something you do all the time? Was this something?
Were you running late? Or, I mean, now it's even popular just to not shave.
Yeah.
Even if you are a woman. So I would have just been like, oh, here we go. This is just what we're doing.
What about the other lady that shaved her legs and then glued the hair to her face?
It's just, there's a lot.
There's a lot going on out there. So, you know what? I'm just glad I got a basement. I just go down there.
Well, just be glad next time you go to the pool, you're like, how much chlorine's in this thing? It's not enough. They should add more.
I'm telling you, I can't afford it, but I need to figure out a way to afford my own pool.
It's safer that way.
I can't go to a public pool ever again. Not after this. You get out and you're like, what's this on my skin?
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's the Riot on Radio U.
You know what's something that I struggle with sometimes, honestly, is I have in my mind, this image of what a God person looks like. Someone who talks about having a relationship with God. They do God things. They talk about Jesus. And a lot of times I don't feel like I personally match that image. Like I have this stereotypical, maybe not, but I have my image of what that person looks like.
Sure.
How they dress, the kind of words they use, the kind of job they would have. Not this. It would be something more syllables. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, definitely.
So that's your image of what meets that.
Yeah, I've got this real solid image. And, it's something I have to constantly remind myself. Do you know that God is for all people? Like, Jesus wants a relationship with everybody. And the goal of a relationship with Jesus is not for him to turn you into Obadiah's stereotypical image of what this is supposed to look like. That's not it at all. What God wants to do is set you free from all the nonsense in your life so you can be the person that he made you to be. And it's going to be a person that looks almost exactly like you. It's going to be a person that, in a lot of ways, continues to act just like you. You're not going to get any bigger words. You're still going to be you. I mean, sure, there's going to be some habits and hang-ups that you're going to hang up and throw out the window. Sure. But you're still going to be you. So look, just because you aren't like that other person, you got that person in your life that you're like, well, if I was more like them,
the perfect one,
then God would finally love me. Then mom would love me. Whatever. We laugh, but hey, real talk, right? Some of you really feel that. When I say that, you're like, yes, I know what he's talking about. You know what? We got to shake that. We got to get rid of that because that's not right. God loves you and is for you, the person that you are. And again, there's going to be stuff that he's going to help you get rid of, but you're going to find out those weren't really you anyway. That the person you really are was kind of chafing under that nonsense. Look, you want a relationship with Jesus, forget what you think you know, and meet him for yourself right now where you are. Just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to have a relationship with you. And I want to know what it really means for real to have you in my life. That's a great place to start. You can ask God to help you get rid of some of those other notions and get to know who he really is. But I'll tell you right now, if you didn't get anything else, he loves you right now where you are today, even if you aren't like so-and-so.
You remember that time you started your morning with a gas station breakfast sandwich and immediately regretted it? Yeah, it's like that. The Riot. RadioU.
Don't go through life without goals. You need to have goals. You got to have something out in front of yourself that you're working towards, that you're looking towards.
And it keeps you pushing towards that.
Just like Snoop Dogg, he had goals. He had goals in life.
I never expected you to use him as the example.
You don't feel like he's the one that...
it's not what I expected you to say.
Well, you know what, Nikki? That's too bad for you because Snoop Dogg had a goal that he finally realized over the weekend. He made... and is now a Guinness World Record certified record holder.
Sure, for what?
He made the world's largest gin and juice.
Really? That is a big moment in life, isn't it?
Yep. It was him, Warren G., and Top Chef winner Michael Voltaggio.
Was this in like a baby pool or something, or what'd they put it in?
No, Nikki, when you have that kind of money, you get a custom glass. Though I'm not I can't tell if it's a glass or if it's plastic,
sure.
But it looks like a big glass. And they've got a huge parasol in it, so it even has a little umbrella. It's 5 feet tall and 3 feet wide is how big the container was. It's 550 liters, 180 bottles of gin.
It is classy.
How much do you think,
I'm sure it's a
alcohol,
sponsorship.
Well, yeah, but alcohol's not cheap. So 180 bottles of gin.
And I bet you he is involved with the gin company somehow.
Well,
I'm sure.
Sure. I mean, that seems likely. It was...
it's something.
Guinness was on hand to certify it.
I mean, like, can I just have the gin and juice, but just juice? But with the Zilli umbrella.
You know what, though? This, I feel like, paves the way for us. What's the world's largest Diet Coke?
Look that one up.
What is the biggest one?
And with giant ice cubes.
Cherry, that's going to be harder. Though, if we went...
We could find a mold.
Those are blocks of dry ice. No, you're right. We could make our own.
Like the size of bricks or concrete or something. Like a concrete block, but it's ice.
Do you see what's happening?
Ideas?
We're setting goals right now.
So it does make you feel good.
So how many 2 liters will we need? And then I think that, just to make it a mixer, we get ourselves some grenadine. So it becomes the world's largest hand-mixed cherry Diet Coke.
People will come out to see that thing.
What?
And then if you want, we can share it with the audience when we're done with the Guinness World Record.
Okay, sure. So we need to have like a little dispenser at the bottom of the cup. And that way you come up, you fill your cup up, and you get
his
some.
Day must look like. He's like, well, I'm going to go out, stick the straw in. I mean, he wasn't in there pouring things, so it's like, Snoop, we need you to put the big red straw in the giant cup, and then you'll get paid for that.
I feel like he has grown into the person, like, I don't even know how to say it, but like,
the person he wouldn't have wanted in the beginning?
I don't know if that's true, because the other day I saw where like he was smoking weed and commenting on Twitch videos. So like
that's all he's doing.
I don't know. I don't know, but he's now a Guinness World Record holder. So yeah, good for him. And like I said, goals, guys.
Goals in front of you.
Goals.
Your morning, but without yelling, laughing, or music.
Don't deprive me of that.
We wouldn't dream of it. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Let's talk about Fortnite. So Fortnite's Battle Royale is free.
Yeah.
Right? You can download it. PC, Xbox, PlayStation 4. You can also play it on
Apple devices.
That's it.
There
Phones.
it is.
iPhones. And
Android later. But the speculation is soon.
But you see, it's kind of a spinoff. That Battle Royale mode was really made popular by a little game called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And here's where it gets ugly. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, that everybody parachutes in, 100 people with the shrinking circle, Battle Royale kind of thing. It's built on the Epic Games engine. And so, guess who owns Fortnite?
Epic Games.
So what, PUBG has been alleging, or the company that owns PUBG is like, hey, you guys took the work we did on your software, because on some level they can see it because Epic makes the engine, and you took the work we did and made your own mode. And they're also accusing them of saying, hey, we've been asking you for help making our game better, which you're supposed to do, and instead you just stole our idea and made your own game better.
And focused on that.
Instead of helping us the way that you're supposed to. Now, this is not the first time they've made this accusation. I want to say they made it towards the end of last year. Might have been earlier this year. But now we're in court. That's right.
Where's the dun-dun-dun sound?
I don't have it, but thanks for making it.
Yeah.
So the PUBG people, they're suing the Fortnite people, but they're suing in South Korean court. So they're not suing in the United States or Canada or wherever the heck else you're playing it.
Is it the server or the stuff is there, or they think they have a better chance of winning?
I actually don't know. But, I mean,
I'd love to go to South Korea, so I'm fine, even if it's for a lawsuit. I'll be like, I'll go, guys. I'll represent you.
So you're saying that if somebody in South Korea wants to sue you, you're fine with it?
It'd be an honor to go over there just to consult on a case. How about that?
Mm-hmm. So apparently this is not the first time that the company that owns PUBG, which I guess they're just called PUBG Corp, this is not the first time they've sued. In China, they sued a company called NetEase for mobile games Rules of Survival and Knives Out, which are also battle royale modes that are taking place in games.
Seems like a lot of people are trying to take their stuff, or that stuff is becoming so popular, even if it's based off of what they've done.
Oh, dude, they're out of luck. Like, they're just out of luck. This 100-player game mode is, it's going to be in, I don't know how many players will have it, but, like, it's showing up in the new Call of Duty. You can be sure it's going to show up in Battlefield.
They can't sue everybody for it.
It's tough. Like, games are iterative. People take things from other games and put them in. Other art forms are like that too, but games are the most guilty of it, maybe. But they're kind of out of luck. Now, I can see they're suing Fortnite or, Epic Games a little bit because of their existing business relationship.
Yeah. Did it cross the lines with that?
Yeah, I can see that maybe, but man, suing these other companies, it's like you hate to say it, but I think they're out of luck.
It's a little desperate.
I think they're out of luck. But you know what? I'm not a legal expert, Nikki.
We'll see what happens.
I'm especially not a South Korean legal expert.
We don't know. It might be better to do that over there.
I might be able to pretend based on all my American television, but I haven't seen enough South Korean legal dramas.
I have, though. I can help.
Having a bad day? Blame the Riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. Radio U.
Man, I'll tell you what. Ultimate life hack, right? Do the reading. Everyone will say, like, if you really want to be one of those, what are the 10 things that successful people do in order to be successful?
Well, they're like getting up at 3 a.m. every day.
How do you grab life by the lips and yank as hard as you can? Like, what are the things that you're doing to be on top? What's one of the things they always suggest? You should get up and exercise in the morning.
They say first thing.
Yeah, first thing, get up and exercise. And you know what? As somebody that did that today, I just can't recommend it at all. Just not
You can't
at all.
put your power behind that and
I just
promote
can't.
that.
No, I just can't.
Is it because you get tired through the day or you just don't want to?
I'm ready to just lay down right now.
But you were doing that any other day, even if you don't work out. So is it too much or
I don't know.
you just don't want to today?
I just know that this is real talk. I'm not humble bragging like, oh, please tell us more about how you got up and worked out today. No, it's not that. It's just that I'm drinking.
Humble workout brag.
Humble workout brag. I'm drinking this coffee and I'm like, why isn't it working? And the other thing is that I used my breakfast time for workout time, so I had a Pop-Tart for breakfast.
Oh, no wonder. That canceled out the whole thing.
No, you know what?
That was worthless. And the calories you burned from running.
I didn't get up to burn calories.
You didn't go running to do that?
No, I did that so I could be my best.
And the Pop-Tart was right there with it?
Well, I was out of time.
So it canceled each other out.
No,
you would have been better to just have a better breakfast and not work out.
How do you know?
Because the Pop-Tart, again, canceled it out.
Well, you know what? Last week I was having better breakfasts. Did I seem any better than this?
You did.
I did not. Now you're just making it up. Now you're just trying to defend your point. Straw man! I don't know.
Well, is there something we can get you here? Did you bring something else?
I mean, I've got this coffee. I'm going to make some more coffee.
I mean, I didn't know about food-wise.
Oh, no, I'm not hungry. I'm just, sleepy.
How could you be after such a big breakfast?
Yeah, well,
That fuels the day.
That balanced breakfast.
Did you have both of them or just one?
Well, I mean, I don't draw those kind of lines.
You had both, didn't you?
Of course.
Even worse.
One. Yeah, I had one Pop-Tart. Like, that only in a boardroom can somebody act like they're going to have only one Pop-Tart. In fairness, though, just based on calorie counts, the breakfast I would have made probably would have been the same amount of calories.
But different calories. Like, it's protein.
No, I don't buy into that anymore. All calories are calories.
They're just calories. They don't count. I think you burn the other ones a little better.
You know what I wanted to do? I had these leftover brats from the weekend. It had been my plan to cut them up, fry eggs around them.
But in a burrito?
And yes. That would have only been about 800 or 900 calories right there.
Great. What if you put it like between a potato bread or a sourdough or something?
I love it. What about a breakfast brat where I take a potato bun, I grill up a brat.
Yeah.
I get up about 45 minutes early.
Well, you got to start the grill.
You make up the eggs, and then what you do is you lay the eggs on top of the brat, and then you take a slice of Kraft cheese, which a lot of people don't think is really cheese, but I think you are a liar. And you take that Kraft cheese, and you lay it on top of the eggs. The heat from the eggs melts the cheese, and it holds it all together. Breakfast brat.
Your neighbor's like, is someone grilling? It's 5 in the morning.
It is 5 o'clock in the morning.
Smelling brat?
I swear I smell a brat right now.
They're on their diet. They're like, I'm smelling food, doctor. I'm going crazy.
Hey, you know what? What if
it's just him grilling?
What if our ultimate life hack is not morning exercise, but it's morning grilling?
It could be.
You get up in the morning. That's going to be me. I'm going to be the head of a Fortune 500 company, and people are like, show us how you work. What do you do?
Your secretary's being contacted, like, can we speak with Obadiah? I'm sorry, he's grilling right now.
First thing I do in the morning is fire up the grill. Then while it's warming up, I take a shower. Then I come downstairs and throw a brat on.
Cook an egg. You're good.
It's perfect.
That's something. I think we started with a negative. And we're ending with a positive.
I'll just tell you that I really want to do that now.
Can you FaceTime Live it if you get up early and grill?
Hey, guys, I'm outside grilling. I don't want to wake anybody up, but it's going to be awesome.
I think you should.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that is innovation right there.
Oh, yeah, it's happening.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So I went to the movies over the weekend, and I had two what I'm going to call just annoying things that happened.
Only two?
Yeah.
I guess it's not so bad.
Okay, so I showed up to the movies, and I was there probably, let's say, 10 minutes early. So you go in there, and, they're running commercials now.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever. So, but when I go in, the lighting level's at a certain, let's say, normal level. I find my seats, and then at roughly 10 minutes to go, the lighting level drops by half.
Yeah.
But not to what you would expect out of the movie.
It's not trailer time, technically. That
Right.
usually goes all the way.
So they're still showing commercials, and I love the little things like, you've been watching Trailer Talk, all the behind the scenes, blah, blah, blah. And man, if I see that commercial one more time with those kids that are like, why can't we get this car?
It's just going to drive you crazy.
You know what? I can just tell you as a kid, I didn't care what car we were in. It was just like, whatever, Mom. Just, can we get there already? It was never, why don't we get the one with onboard GPS, large screen navigation, Dad?
So that's a no on that ad. All right.
Okay, but here's where it got even more annoying to me, is that when the movie started, then the light level dropped all the way down. Like it was trailer time or movie time or whatever. And then I saw an additional 5 to 8 minutes of commercials. Not trailers, not whatever. Movie start time, let's say 1 p.m. Go in there. They dim the lights for commercials. And we're so trained.
You know why?
Because they're selling that ad time?
Because we go to a movie theater that has assigned seats, so they know people are waiting. So now they can't play them ahead of time because, especially for the bigger releases, you would get to the theater early. You would sit there because you want to make sure you had a good seat. They know no one's showing up till 5 or 10 minutes after, so they have to go ahead and start them right when the start time is.
Yeah, well, it's annoying.
And the other thing is, do about it,
the social cue annoys me because what is the cue? That when the lights go down, I put my phone away and I'm going to pay attention to what's on the screen. They're showing commercials. I intentionally left my phone out and talked to the people I was with, and it felt wrong. But I'm like, these are freaking car commercials. I am not going to be quiet for the car commercial.
Why do you wait outside until they're done?
Well, you know what? From now on, I'm going to start showing up late.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing that.
Or just don't go in the theater.
Also a possibility.
You just wait outside.
But I mean, the idea that they have done everything, turn the lights down so I can watch the Chevy commeril.
Now, that was one. But did you say there was two things?
Yeah, I was annoyed by the Facebook commercial that I watched. Have you seen them on this? No, it's like Facebook. It was perfect. We came online, and we loved each other, and we discovered each other. And then the bad men came and played the fake news, and blah, blah, blah. But we're fixing Facebook, and all the happiness is coming back. Facebook.
Well, you are not meant to sit in front of the commercials. You are just not meant to.
Listen, as far like commercials are propaganda.
Yeah.
And they are specifically designed. There are groups of people in rooms that are trying to figure out a way to psychologically manipulate you with 30 seconds. How can they get you to do what they want by showing you a 30-second propaganda film? I feel like I'm in a dystopia. Or certainly in like a POW camp where they're showing.
Show up later.
Okay.
Just show up later.
Just
for your well-being, don't go anymore on time.
Commercials drive me crazy.
I know they do. We can sense that.
So, but thanks for giving me this time, though.
You're welcome.
I guess I could be calmer about it.
Maybe. Just wait outside, like I said, until you can tell the movie started.
Maybe I will.
Better than going in.
Then they'll start showing me commercials in the hallway.
The Riot used to be 3 people.
Please tell me we're not discussing video games again.
The other guy didn't make it. It's the Riot.
Nikki, what did Snoop Dogg teach us earlier?
Earlier in the show, if you have a goal in front of you, then that will help drive you to, with probably a paid partnership, get the Guinness World Record that he got over the weekend.
He made the world's biggest gin and juice. Now, many of us may look at that and go, that's not my kind of goal. But how about this one? Anne Brunage. I'm just going to call her Anne because I know I'm not getting her last name.
What'd she do?
She's 71 years old.
Yeah.
She's a yoga enthusiast.
At that age? Wow.
Hey, they say, the older you get, use it or lose it.
Sure.
So she is probably one of those healthy, vibrant, I have more energy than you at 70 than
probably
you have at 20.
Probably could do better yoga than us at this age, so that's a shame.
She's one of those people, I'm going to guess. Her goal, a handstand in all 50 states.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's a nice goal.
And so here's a photo of her in Alaska doing a handstand at the post office in this small town in Alaska.
Kind of like some people want to go to every major league ballpark, across the country, or you want to go to every particular restaurant in every country or every state. It's kind of like that.
I need a goal.
But hers is healthy.
I need a thing like this. I got nothing. No, I
collect.
I don't want to make a huge gin and juice, and I also don't want to do handstands.
I don't, but when I go to different areas, I collect a Christmas ornament, but that's about it. I don't do anything when I'm there.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
And the thing about, that'll just upset you. I won't say that.
No, what is it?
Well, I was going to say, the thing about buying those Christmas ornaments is eventually you die, they get passed on to somebody else.
And they just get thrown in the trash.
There's somebody else's mess that they have to take care of.
I know, but they're cheap and it's a small collection. It's fine.
The thing I was thinking is, what's something you can do?
Yeah.
Like, what's an experience that you can have? Like, I've gone to the bathroom in all 50 states.
That's something.
I've visited the truck stop.
Why can't you just have it be, I've gone to all the states?
Well, it's not enough. You got to have an
I have
angle.
to do something while I'm there.
Nikki, in these days and age, you can't Insta being there. You're going to have to Insta doing something.
No, because it used to be like, you check off every state you'd go to.
Right. At this point, I collected a quarter of all the commemorative quarters from the states.
And I think, honestly, Alaska might be the only one left that I haven't been to.
I've never been to Alaska.
I haven't either.
I haven't been to Hawaii either. So I've never left the continental United States. So, yeah. What a sheltered life I'm living.
Well, we'll think about it. We'll think about what could be, or let us know if you know of a good thing. I don't want to do a handstand, so.
No, I don't even think I can. And you know what? I don't want to find out.
Yeah, how about we not do a headstand in all 50 states? That could be our angle on it.
A hot dog in every state.
See, yes, like that. Hey. A local hot dog.
Local hot, yeah.
That has to be killed there and everything. As local as can be.
When you say it has to be killed there, that makes it sound like hot dog meat comes from one source.
The hot dog tree.
One animal.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's an assortment.
Recycling paper is like planting a tree. Recycling the riot is like burning down the rainforest.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So did you drop your phone this weekend? Yeah, you always don't want to put a case on it, and then when you don't, you drop it and it breaks. But then when you drop it in a case and it makes it,
or some of the, for me, the prettier cases I like, they don't go up around the top of your phone enough, which is really key. You can have a case on your phone, and if it's flush, then
it's worthless.
Kiss it goodbye, because one day you're going to crack it on something. But if it goes just up and over a little bit, it'll save you.
It's weird how much that makes a difference.
A difference, yeah. For
it really
sure.
Does. So the people at Tom's Guide, they team up with Engadget, and you'll find reports on those two websites from each other. And one of the things they did is I love this headline. We dropped $18,000 worth of phones, which sadly is probably like 5 phones. So,
18.
They went through and they tested these phones. So they dropped them from 4 feet, 6 feet, dropped them flat, dropped them at angles. And you'd have to go to the website to see, they have a huge testing kind of paradigm and list of how they did this and why they did it and how it all came out.
Now, are they just trying to test the strength of phones on their own, or is it a case thing?
No. Just phones
on
alone.
Their own? Okay.
Yeah, no cases. Care to take a stab at what was the strongest phone in the mix?
Probably an Android.
It was. It was
some of those are like bricks.
Okay, well, the one thing they also point out is none of these are quote unquote rugged phones. So you can go in and buy a phone that is designed hey, I'm taking it on a job site. I'm taking it into the jungle.
Some people use is it OtterBox or whatever, the really hardcore cases. There's some versions of those. Well, your phone basically looks like that, but without having to put a case on it.
So it's none of those.
No, it's
more
just normal
of
phones.
A consumer level Joe Schmo phone kind of thing. Sorry if your name's Joe, you're not a schmo. So the toughest out of all the phones that they tested, the Motorola Moto Z2 Force. It received out of 10 a score of 8.5.
Pretty good. It is a force to be reckoned with.
It is. Right beneath that, the LG X Venture. But look at the spread here. It drops down to a 6.6 toughness.
So big difference.
They say nothing was as tough as the Motorola Moto Z2 Force. In third place, the Apple iPhone 10 at a 6.2. In fourth place, the LG V30 And then in 5th place, the Samsung Galaxy S9, and it received a toughness score out of 10 of 6.
Sometimes there's no rhyme or, like, it just happens. You know,
does.
Like, I've dropped my phone so many times, and I'm like, well, that was the big one, wasn't it? But then I happened to slip on some ice once, and then it nicked on the ice, and then it cracked completely, or it just hit it at the right angle, and then there it goes.
I had the exact same experience. I have the phone I have now. You just can't even fathom how far it's been thrown, dropped, like all of this stuff. And yet it still
alive.
remains. It is a Motorola, so maybe they're really good and tough phones. I don't know. But then I had another phone. I can't remember what it was, but it was like, I think it fell off the table. It was like on the carpet. I mean, it was just like one of those things where you're like, oh, it's fine. Shattered to pieces.
It's like, wait a minute. Thought you were supposed to be better at this.
What? Huh? What?
Still, every time Apple or even Android come up with this is what our new phone is going to do and all these bells and whistles, I still always go back to just make it not crack. And that would be a nice statement if they could.
See, Nikki, there's
could money
do that.
in that. I know there's money in it.
There's that. That's an excellent point. Like, to a certain extent, it's worth it for them to
have some problems,
have the phones break so they can fix them. That's a whole business model. But then you've also got the idea of there were phones that were super rugged that didn't break, but they weren't smartphones.
Yeah.
You know, like a flip phone, man, you just throw that
drive
thing
over
for
that
days.
thing, I
like, it
bet.
wouldn't matter. Your phone's still working. But like all of a sudden you do this nice glass front and everything changes.
Just never know when it's going to happen.
Man, phones. Got to have them, but I'm with Nikki. Let's get a steel reinforced glass.
Let's fix it.
If you were offended or disgusted by anything Obadiah said this morning,
If you weren't so dumb, I might be offended.
you must be new. You'll get used to it. The Riot on Radio U.
I got really concerned about you over the weekend. I almost called you because I know how big you are on like a Spam and egg breakfast.
I never had Spam. I don't know if I could do that.
You know what? If you would cook it, you wouldn't
I probably
care.
wouldn't even know.
I think it would. It's hot dog like in that it is.
It's just the can part.
They sweep up the parts and then they glue it together, and that's where Spam and hot dogs come from.
It seems like it's
and
sweats.
bologna. You love bologna.
I do, and I know that's bad, but it seems like it sweats like a little jelly thing too around it, or
it doesn't. That jelly I believe it doesn't sweat. Like it's in there on purpose. You can just clean it off. Like it's just
wipe it off.
It's just jelly.
Okay.
Well, that's why if you cook it,
it's out.
It's out. No
yeah,
big
but
deal.
I've never had Spam, and I just don't know.
Spam, eggs, and rice?
Nope.
Be perfect. That, Nikki, you could pretend you're in Hawaii.
I know.
I'll play you some music.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to go trying it now because didn't they have a recall or something?
Well, put your hula skirt away, I guess. There is
Put the can back on the shelf or take it back to where you bought it.
They definitely have recalled 228,614 pounds
of Spam.
What
do they say is wrong? Or
there are pieces of metal inside the containers.
See, I knew it wasn't going to be like E. coli or something because I don't think anything can live in that can.
Nothing lives in Spam.
I don't think even bacteria or sickness or whatever. It had to be something man-made.
So if you've got Spam at home, they're saying throw it away.
Because it could have the metal pieces?
Or take it back to where you bought it because it could have metal in it. And then, of course, that could hurt you bad.
Sure.
So recall. I guess have you ever returned food?
Only
I feel
when
like we've had this discussion
I've
before.
done that with Costco. Do you remember a couple years ago, Costco had this massive recall on like fruits and vegetables, like freezer bag items?
Okay.
I went back in my freezer and got like everything. We're talking years old that it's always been on the bottom and you never used it. Took it back and they gave me all the money for it. I was like, fine, no questions asked.
You know, we should cook Spam.
No.
We should have Spam in here. Like, you should try Spam. Why not?
Why don't we save it for a fundraiser? Like, I'm not. Like, I'm pretty cool with most things, but I really legitimately have a problem with a can. I don't want to. I don't mind tuna in a can, but it's the Spam thing.
You were going to eat a tarantula.
If enough money was raised.
And so you're telling me this Spam
is too much.
It's too much.
Just that's my body. My body is saying no.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Doesn't want to.
It just doesn't seem bad enough for that kind of reaction.
It's the goopiness of it.
You wouldn't even notice
the texture, the consistency of it.
Cut it up and fry it. Put up some eggs. You'd be like, this is ham and eggs.
I don't like ham.
Well, okay. Then that's
I think I just can't.
That may be a problem.
But if you want to, you're more than welcome to.
No, I don't want to. Just thought, because you didn't want to, that I wanted to.
You wanted to.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
What did Snoop Dogg teach us today, Nikki?
This is twice you've asked me. He taught us, what was it? Have a goal in front of you.
Yeah.
That's it.
He didn't teach us that. That's the lesson we chose to learn.
And this is what Obi keeps bringing up today.
Mm-hmm. And then what did we learn from that old lady?
The old lady who was doing the headstands, and she successfully completed a headstand in every state. Mm-hmm. Well, to not give up.
Have goals. Don't give up.
Don't give up on them.
Keep at it. Let's go.
Right. So is someone else going to motivate us now?
Yes.
Yes?
Spencer McAuliffe. He also, just like Snoop Dogg before him, became a Guinness World Record holder over the weekend. He has built the tallest waffle stack,
of course,
in history.
Of course. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what you'll be remembered for.
There it is, 67 centimeters. This waffle tower, which
is it just so that they don't topple over? Like, how tall can you get it?
Yeah,
that's it. I feel like you can get a record for almost anything.
Like waffles, that's only that's not even 2.5 feet. That's 2 feet, 2 inches of waffles. I saw
a picture of it, and it does seem like pretty small. Like, I think we could have done that.
But we didn't.
But we didn't even try. That's the thing with some of these world records. You can get in at the ground floor when people don't even realize it's a world record possibility.
See, when I look at this one, it's like, bro, your record's going to last about a day. Because when somebody looks at that, it's like, yeah, okay, it's no big deal. We're going to start making our own waffles. We'll be done. I mean, I could go buy a couple of boxes of Eggos and be done in almost no time.
Now, it seems that they made these very uniform to very flat sort of waffle, but I think we'd probably be a bit ambitious thinking we could. You'd have to practice, because if you had waffles that were different shapes and stuff, they would not work out.
Well, I mean, you'd have to make sure you're getting your waffles right.
Looks good, though. I'll take a waffle.
I will also take a waffle, but...
So this was in his home. It was in his backyard in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And 50 pounds of waffle mix, 2 waffle irons, and that's what he did.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. See, it's about goals, Nikki. It's about setting goals and then meeting goals.
And not being afraid to try it.
So having yourself... I love some of the photos. Like, I love in the back, he's got some friends over and they're just standing there with cups like, yeah.
Let's do this. Now, for them, him and his friends, they're going to be making waffle building a yearly tradition. So even if no one else beats out this world record, maybe next year they'll beat it on their own.
They'll beat their own world record because #life goals.
The Riot's motto, Carpe Cupcake. Those are words to live by. Radio U.
Okay, Nikki, when we ate bugs, do you remember what you ate? What did we eat?
It was
I think I had a cockroach, right?
No, you did not. We had
a beetle?
Was it a cricket or?
Maybe it was a cricket.
Yeah, I think we ate crickets.
Okay. All right. Well, it was gross.
Yeah, but people are like, oh, it's such a big protein source.
It's so good for you.
Which is true, because like crickets are ground up into powder.
Mm-hmm.
So it is popular.
That sounds humane.
But we had to dip it into
we put a little barbecue on it.
We had to put in some sauce to get that down, because that is not something we are used to.
Little barbecue there. How about this, Nikki? We did okay on that.
Yeah.
And you're always up for the next wave of nutrition. You're always up for the next superfood.
Yeah, what's the it item?
Which, by the way, superfood's not real. That's just something somebody made up. It's just food. There's nothing super about it.
Oh, come on.
It's just food.
Well, it might be.
Okay. Milk.
Milk, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, you like milk?
I do not drink milk.
Right, but you did.
Well, when I was very young, I've never liked milk straight out of the carton. Like, look at this. This is great. Never liked it.
Okay, so no more cow's milk.
Mm-hmm.
Cockroach milk.
Now, I also saw the notice on that, and that won't work for me either.
That's not going to happen.
That will not work. How does that even happen?
Well, there is one, this is crazy, but like there's one species of cockroach that live births their kids. So like they don't lay eggs.
Stop it.
They give birth, and those cockroaches produce milk for the baby cockroaches. And so they're like, yeah, it takes
so
about
cold in here.
It takes about 1,000 cockroaches to make.
To get what? Like a little teaspoon?
What are they saying? 1,000 cockroaches to make 100 grams of milk. So
I would never. I don't even want to try that. Like, why did someone try that?
they say it tastes just like cow's milk.
No, it doesn't.
Because, Nikki, just like remember when we did our food thing during the fundraiser, we had somebody who called was an entomologist and said, no, like insects are the next wave.
I know they are. I know.
That's what we're going to be eating.
I will start. I'm going to start with other ones. Cockroach is a big jump. That is a big jump for me.
But you like lobster?
Yeah, I know.
Same thing.
It's different. It looks different. It is different.
It's not that different.
Yeah, I feel like we've categorized one in one area and one in the other.
They're both bottom feeders.
I know, and I know lobsters back in the beginning of like time were like considered to be terrible. Like cheap food. And only now do we charge a lot of money for it.
Oh, yeah, you want that lobster. Put it like a really buttered up cockroach with some cockroach milk. No,
I don't even know what to say with it. I don't even know.
Nikki is literally speechless at the idea of eating cockroach and drinking cockroach milk.
I mean, do they just kill the cockroach, or how is the milk coming from the cockroach? Does the cockroach donate it?
Yes, they have donation centers. They just get in line.
Because are they grinding up the cockroach, or are
That's what I thought.
Like if I made almond milk once on my own, and I soaked the almonds in water, and then I ground it up to make almond milk. Is it like that? They soak the cockroaches?
I don't know. I really don't know. And I was looking, I still can't figure out how they get it because
they don't want to tell.
Here's the thing is that it's actually cockroach milk.
Yeah.
So it's not, because my thought
them
was
ground up and soaked.
Right. Because my thought was like, oh, what you guys are doing is like, you're calling it milk, but it's actually like liquid cockroach, which is,
no, it's their milk.
No, it's like milk. That's some very tiny instruments.
Yeah. Just passing on that. Pass. Tell me the next superfood. I'm not doing this one.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
I'm going to drink this coffee, but I don't have to like you.